Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I will be reading the book story called The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me. Made by Ronald Dahl, our credit goes to him, and illustrated by Quayton Blake. Let's get started. Introducing Billy, the giraffe, the Pelly, the Duke of Hampshire, and the monkey. So, Ronald Dahl, the giraffe and the Pelly. Get started. Not far from where I live, there is a queer old empty wooden house standing all by itself on the side of the road. I long explore inside it, but the door is always locked, and when I peered through a window, all I could see is darkness and dust. I know the ground floor used once to be a shop because I still read the faded lettering across the front which says the grubber. My mother has told me that in our part of the country in olden days, a grubber was another name for a sweet shop. And now, every time I look at it, I think to myself, what a lovely old sweet shop it must have been. On the shop window itself, somebody has painted in small words, "For sale." One morning, I noticed that the for sale sign had become scraped off the shop window, and in its place, somebody had painted "sold." I sit there staring at the new writing and wishing like mad that it would have been me who had bought it, because then I would have been able to make it into a grubber all over again. I have always longed and longed to be a sweet shop. The sweet shop of my dreams would be loaded from top to bottom with sherbet, suckers and caramel fudge and Russian toffee, and sugar snorters and butter gumballs, and thousands of other glorious things like that. Oh boy, what I could have done with the old grubber shop if it had been mine. On my next visit to the grubber, I was standing across the road gazing at the wonderful old building when suddenly an enormous bathtub came sailing out through one of the second floor windows and crashed straight in the middle of the road. See a picture of that. Picture of the bathtub falling from the second story and the picture of the grubber shop. A few moments later, a white porcelain lavatory pan with the wooden seat still on it came flying out of the same window and landed with a wonderful splintering crash just beside the bathtub. This was followed by a kitchen sink and an empty cannery cage and a four-poster bed and two hot water bottles and a rocking horse and a sewing machine and goodness knows what else besides. It looked as though some madman was ripping out the whole of the inside of the house, because now pieces of staircase and bits of the banisters and a whole lot of old floorboards came whistling through the windows. Then there was silence. I waited and waited, but not another sound came from within the building. I crossed the road and stood right under the window and called out, "Is anyone home?" There was no answer. In the end, it began to get so dark, I had to return away and started walking home. But you can bet your life nothing was going to stop me from hurrying. Back there again tomorrow morning to see what the next surprise was going to be. When I got to the grubber shop next The next morning, the first thing I noticed was the new door. The dirty old brown door had been taken out, and in its place, someone had fitted a brand new red one. The new door was fantastic. It was twice as high as the other one had been, and it looked ridiculous. I couldn't begin to imagine who would want a tremendous tall door like that in his house, unless it was a giant. As well as this, somebody had scraped away the sold notice on the window shop, and now there was a whole lot of different writing all over the glass. I stood there reading it and trying to figure out what on earth it meant. The Ladras Window Cleaning Company. Get your windows clean without a lot of dirty ladders leaning against your house. You can see the picture, the very tall door. I tried to catch some sign or sound of movement inside the house, but there was none. Until all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I noticed that one of the windows on the top floor was slowly heading to open outwards. Then a head appeared at the window open when leaving me alone. I stared at the head. The head stared back at me with big, round, dark eyes. Suddenly, a second window was flung wide open, and of all the crazy things, a gigantic white bird hopped out and perched on the windowsill. I knew what this one was because of its amazing beak, which was shaped like a huge orange-colored basin. The pelican looked down at me and sang, "Oh, how I wish for a big fat fish. I'm as hungry as I could ever be. A dish of fish is my only wish. How far are we from the sea?" "We are a long way from the sea," I called back to him. "But there is a fishmonger in the village not far away." "A fish what?" "A fishmonger." "Now what on earth would that be?" asked the pelican. "I have heard of fish pie and a fish cake, and a fish finger, but I've never heard of a fishmonger." "Are these mongers good to eat?" This question baffled me a bit. So I said, "Who is your friend in the next window?" "She is the giraffe," the pelican answered. "Is she not wonderful? Her legs are on the ground floor, and her head looking out the top window. As if this wasn't enough, the window on the first floor was now flung wide open and popped out a monkey. The monkey stood on the windowsill and did a jiggly little dance. He was so skinny he seemed to be made only out of furry bits of wire. But he danced wonderfully well, and I clapped and cheered and did a little dance myself in return. "We are the window cleaners," sang out the monkey. "We will polish your glass till it's shining like brass, and it sprinkles like the sun on the sea. We are quick and polite, we will come out day or night, the giraffe and the pelly and me. We are a fabulous crew, we know just what to do, and we never stop work to drink tea. All your windows will glow when we give them a go, the giraffe and the pelly and me. We use water and soap, plus some kindness and hope, but we never use ladders, not we. Who needs ladders at all when you're 30 feet tall, not giraffe and not the pelly, not me?" I stood there enthralled. Then I heard the giraffe saying to the pelican in the next window, "Pelly, my dear, be so good as to fly down and bring that small person up here to talk to us. At once the pelican spread his huge white wings and flew down onto the road beside me. He said, "Hop in," he said, opening his enormous beak. I stared at the great orange beak and backed away. "Go on," the monkey shouted from up in his window. "The pelly isn't going to swallow you. Climb in." I said to the pelican, "I'll only get inside if you promise not to shut your beak once I'm inside." "You have nothing to fear," cried the pelican. "And let me tell you why. I have a very special beak. A special beak have I. You'll never see such a beak so fine. I don't care where you go. There's magic in this beak of mine. Hop in and don't say no." "I will not hop in," I said, "unless you swear on your honor you won't shut it at once. Once I'm inside, I don't like small dark places. When I have done what I am just about to do," said the pelican, "I won't be able to shut it. You don't seem to understand how my beak works." "Show me," I said. "Watch this," cried the pelican. I watched in amazement as the top half of the pelican's beak began to slide smoothly backwards into his head. The whole thing was almost out of sight. "It bends and goes down inside the back of my neck," cried the pelican. "Is that not sensible? Is it not magical?" "It's unbelievable," I said. "It's exactly like one of those metal tape measures my father got at home. When it's out, it's straight. When you slide it back in, it bends and disappears." "Precisely," said the pelican. "You see, the top half is no use to me unless I am chewing fish. The bottom half is the one that counts, my lad. The bottom half of this glorious beak of mine is the bucket in which carry out your window cleaning water. So if I didn't slide the top half, I'd be standing around all day long holding it open. So I slide it away for the rest of the day. Even so, I'm still able to speak. And whenever I've flown, it always has been known as the pelican's planted beak. If I want to eat fish, that's my favorite dish. All I got to do is give it a tweak. In the blink of an eye, out it pops and then cry. It's the pelican's patent beak." "Stop showing off down there," shouted the monkey from the upstairs window. "Hurry up and bring the small person up to us. The giraffe is waiting." I climbed into the big orange beak, and with a swoosh of wings, the pelican carried me back to his perch on the windowsill. The giraffe looked out of her window at me and said, "How do you do? What is your name?" "Billy," I told her. "Well, Billy," she said, "we need your help, and we need it fast. We must have some windows to clean. We spent every penny we had on buying this house, and we've got to earn some more money quickly. The pelly is starving, the monkey is famished, and I am perishing with hunger. The pelly needs fish, the monkey needs nuts, and I am more difficult to feed. I'm a garrulous giraffe, a generous giraffe, cannot eat anything except the pink and purple flowers of the tinkle tinkle tree. But those, as I am sure you know, are hard to find and expensive to buy." The pelican cried out. "Right now I am so hungry I could eat a stale sardine." Has anyone seen a stale sardine or a bucket of rotten cod? I eat the lot upon the spot. I'm such hungry bot. time the pelican spoke, the beak I was standing in jangled manly up and down, and the more excited he got, the more it jiggled. The monkey said, "What's Pelly's really crazy about in salmon?" "Yes, yes," cried the pelican. "Salmon! Oh, glorious salmon! I dream about it all day long, but I never get any." "And I dream about walnuts," shouted the monkey. "A walnut fresh from the tree is scrumptious and glamtious, and so flavorfully savory, so sweet to eat that it makes me all wobbly just thinking about it." At exactly that moment, a huge white Rolls Royce pulled up right below us, and the chauffeur in a blue and golden uniform got out. He was carrying an envelope in one gloved hand. "Good heavens," I whispered. "That's the Duke of Hampshire's car." "Who's he?" asked the giraffe. "He's the richest man in England," I said. The chauffeur knocked on the door of the grubber. He looked up and saw us. He saw the giraffe, the pelly, and the monkey, and me, all staring down at him from above. But not a muscle moved in his face, not an eyebrow was raised. The chauffeurs of a very rich men are never surprised by anything they see. The chauffeur said, "His Grace, the Duke of Hampshire, has instructed me to deliver this envelope to the Ladress Window Cleaning Company." "That's us," cried the monkey. The giraffe said, "Be so good and open the envelope and read us the letter." The chauffeur unfolded the letter and began to read. "Dear Sirs, I saw your notice as I drove by this morning. I have been looking for a decent window cleaner for my last 50 years, but I have not found one yet. My house has 677 windows in it, not counting the greenhouse, and all of them are filthy. Kindly come and see me as soon as possible. Yours truly, Hampshire." That's added the chauffeur in a voice filled with awe and respect. So this is going to be the pause of the story. So when I make the next video, I am going to read the next part. So bye guys! Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell to get new uploads whenever I make a new video. Bye!